Oh, the anthems, as always, sung with real gusto and emotion. As we don't have quite as big a crowd today as yesterday, but you can understand why. It may look bright and beautiful, but it is chilly to say the least. Brass monkeys is an expression that comes to mind. We're very much into fall here. It's about 14 or 15 degrees centigrade, something in and around that. And even though it is kind of the very end of the cricket season here in Canada, we've actually been really lucky with the weather, haven't we? I know it probably had a big role in yesterday's game with the rain that came down, but generally we've been blessed with some good sunshine.
Especially here in King City, we've been very lucky. I'm just glad to say, Lenny, hearing you say fall puts a smile on my face because we've converted you now. We've converted you from autumn to fall.
Does that warm your heart?
It does. It does indeed.
Something needs to warm us up here. It's great to have you back with us, Arsalan, and really looking forward to today's game. What did you think of yesterday? How big a factor was it as we see the Nepal team again with those two changes? How big a factor was that rain at the end? It really had it was probably a marginal call, wasn't it, for the umpires? Would you call it a 50-50 as to whether to stay on or not?
It was certainly a 50-50, but as a cricket fan, ideally you want to keep them out and let the players take care of the game, not the DLS method. Whatever
the conditions. You would rather it settled on the pitch, not DLS.
100%, yeah. But you would certainly say it definitely favored the batsman in the end. There was enough rain for Karan Casey was skidding off, which then really allowed it to get to the boundary.
And also then skidding out from the outfield.
Correct. That's on your screen is right in the bowler's run-up for the right armor coming around the wicket, for the left armor coming over the wicket. And that was a big area of concern for the umpires this morning.
Yeah, again, great credit to the match officials, the team of Niamor Rahul Rashid, and indeed our two hometown umpires. We've got Arnold Medella standing alongside Rohan Shah. I think in general they've had a really good series. I know there was a few that were upset by that run-out decision yesterday back in Nepal, but I think when you don't have the third umpire in place for line decisions, your default as an umpire has to be, you need to be certain to give it out. And you might look at a replay in slow motion the third time you see it and go, oh, it was definitely out. But it's very hard in real time.
Yeah, and I think we've grown up with the batters get the benefit of the doubt, don't they? If you're uncertain, you don't want to make a wrong decision there. And we have the luxury of replays, watching it back the second, third, fourth time, slowing it down, stopping it. The umpires, unfortunately, don't. They have to do it in real time. Yeah, there wasn't too many happy fans were there yesterday with that decision.
Anil Shah can open the batting alongside Asif Sheikh, who played his 50th T20I yesterday, and Kali Mullah is going to get us going with the ball. We're all set for a full T20I, full 20 overs. And you would imagine as we move on to the fourth pitch, it's a 4-pitch square out there here on this main ground at King City. It's looked a bit different, hasn't it? This is the first time we've used this in the series. I think the ground staff were reticent to move on to it too early. But again, you can see the work they've done this morning to try and sort of flatten it out, take a little bit of the grass off it. How's it going to play? It's kind of anyone's guess. I don't think even the curation team knew.
Well, I've been playing at King City for many years, Lenny, and it's always a guess as to what it's going to do on a fresh wicket. But today, and even just from that first ball, it looked a little bit sticky there. First ball, didn't it? Not as much pace off the wicket as we're used to seeing from Kalimullah here in King City throughout this tour of Canada. So we'll have to wait and see what this looks like. A slip and gully in places. Gully brought in after that first ball.
Nicely played by Sheikh. Yeah, I think that was the information I got from the ground staff. They said they felt it might be a bit tacky. Of the four, it's probably got the most moisture in it. That's why they've gone to it last. But they probably didn't want to play on two again because that's gone incredibly dry. I just don't know where they probably don't know where they're going to play tomorrow's final game until they see how this pitch plays.
Yeah, I suspect they're really hoping that this plays well today, that they can play on this wicket again tomorrow. I think that's the hope from the ground staff. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, down the leg side, that'll be a wide. I don't think anyone's worked harder in the series than the 10 or 12 men who've been here at early hours in sometimes difficult conditions. We had that torrential downpour that washed out the fifth ODI. And to get play today after what we saw last night, great effort.
Yeah, sensational. They're always working hard. It's never easy here. We're a little bit in the middle of nowhere, aren't we, Lenny? There's not much around. So the wind source helps the rain come in, and it also...
Now, this is going to go over the head of the keeper. Real moment of fortune for Anil Sa. You have to admire the intent, but Kalimullah's been unlucky here, isn't he? He got Anil Sa in a horrible tangle. And really, that was probably the best case result for Nepal. The top edge, it looped over the keeper. It's the first boundary in the first over.
Yeah, Patika Tavali giving chase there, but dissected the three men perfectly right over the keeper. Anil Sa, not where he wanted to go, but just got a little big on him in the end, didn't it, Lenny? And just managed to get that top edge over the keeper's head.
They drove past the King City Cultural and Heritage Centre last night. We've taken some interesting routes because there's been some roadworks going on up towards the ground here. As Sa goes a long way into the leg side. Oh, that's out of the ground, over onto pitch B, I think it is over there. What a strike from Anil Sa, the first maximum.
Well, he's lucky it's not Saturday or Sunday for this shot because it would have dented a car, Lenny. That's where all the cars were parked on over the weekend. And Anil Sa, have a look at this, drifting on his legs. Might have been only, do you think he's taking that off stump, Lenny? Not quite on his legs, but he's driven this all the way over the few Nepali fans that have shown up.
It's gone over the Momo truck. No one's hit it over the Momo truck this entire trip. And I'll tell you something, you've got to consider that really good use of the conditions, and the reason why it's a much shorter side over towards that side today. 60 metres square. It means the offside for the right-handers from this side today is 68 metres. So you'll be thinking lots of twos and threes out to the offside. And if you're going to target the boundary, even though there's a man out at deep backward square leg, take him on, hit it over his head. Really good start for Nepal, just like they got off to that flying start in the power play yesterday. There's been lots of good stuff on this tour for Nepal, hasn't there? Just probably not the wins they would have liked.
Yeah, I think it's been in pockets, hasn't it? They've only really put one full game together. We saw that the other day.
Yeah, this is going to be very close. Height might be the only issue. Arnold Medela, he's been pleaded with, implored with by Kalimullah. It's definitely straight enough. But Kalimullah's natural height and bounce, was it taking it over the top? How close is this?
Judging from the reaction, it looks like it's kept a bit low, and Kalimullah, he's disappointed. He was getting closer and closer to Arnold Medela. Thought he was going to give him a bear hug there for a second, but let's have a look, Lenny. It's definitely straight enough, you'd have to say.
He's deep in the crease, but height is the issue.
He's on his tippy toes there as well, Lenny. Mightily close, mighty close.
Well, I'll tell you something. Akib Ilyas not happy, nor Kalimullah. I would say that's as marginal as you get. If we did have DRS here, you'd almost banker that that's an umpire's call in terms of the height.
Clipping the bails, you'd have to say.
Yeah, kind of clipping the... So one of those ones that could have gone either way. And Kalimullah, he just hasn't had the decisions go his way, has he? Fuller again. That's a better length. Sa wants a single. Now, run out chance. Direct hit is going to be gone. And gone for all money. And a calamitous mix-up I think Asif Sheikh did the right thing. I don't think there was a single there, particularly not to the left hand of Shoaib Khan. And a ball after surviving a massive shout. Anil Sa, well, he's run himself out. It's Ayan Khan, in fact, isn't it? The left hand. Great pickup and direct hit. And Oman have a wicket in the first over.
Yeah, the last one kept a little bit low. This one, again, the tacking is coming to show. And Ayan Khan, he moved well there. No doubt about it. It was almost a comedical because he just clipped that leg stump with that throw, didn't he, Lenny? If he missed that, Akib Ilyas, he might have had a spray at him.
Anil Sa has run himself out for 11 at the end of the first over. It's 13 for 1.
The all-new Nissan Kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Well, what a dramatic start we have had here. Just moments after the big appeal. We'll hopefully be able to get those graphics updated with the fact that it was Ayan Khan with the run out. Not just yet, just searching as to which of the Omani fielders it was. Shakil Ahmed is going to get things going with the ball from the far end. You've got to admire Oman, don't you? They've kind of been nowhere with their form, particularly with their batting, but they just keep scrapping and keep finding their way into contests. I don't think they're playing particularly well at the moment, though.
And I don't think they would say they are either. Having a chat to Bhuvaneshwar Dasanaika the other day, and he said, we're still searching. But in amidst that, they've had some brilliant individual performances in between. And just trying to put a game together. I think the Nepali team, you'd have to say it's very similar. There's been some brilliant individual performances. And just looking to come together as a team. The difference, however, Nepal changing. Every game, there's been somebody rested, a couple people brought in. Oman, they're sticking with the same side throughout this T20 series, this No Frills T20 Cup. What do you make of that, Lenny?
Yeah, look, for me, the T20s, I know there's international ranking points on the line, and there is a path, albeit one that's very much down the line, to automatically qualify and consider getting into the 2028 T20 World Cup. As we've seen Ireland do for this 2026 World Cup. They were the last side to get in on the rankings, and you do have to think of the rankings and their importance. They're important for funding as well. They're important, in various countries to, go to your national sports governing body and say, this is where we're ranked in the world. This is why we need more support. Sheikh goes inside out over Rextra. He's got it wide of the man at long off, who does really well out there. Might be Rafiullah, who's going to keep it to just a single. That's, 3-run save, not just 1-run save. Outstanding stuff.
He's very wide out there, isn't he, Lenny? I was surprised before the beginning of this over. He's very wide out there at long off, but the right call from Akib Ilyas as he saves 3 runs for his team.
Yeah, certainly. If you're going to experiment, Cricket World Cup League 2 is far too important. Like, every game is critical and must win there, right the way throughout the 2.5-year cycle. Yeah, that's missed everything, isn't it? I think this has gone through and clipped nothing at all. I don't think Pratik Attavele's had the best tour with the gloves. He's trying to say that it's come off something, but it's hit nothing at all, and Nepal will be pretty pleased with that. It'll be 4 byes, isn't it?
It looks like 4 byes. That's the call. Attavele. I don't know what's better. If it came off the bat, it's a dropped catch. If it's not, it's 4 runs against you. So I don't know what he's. It looks like it's just gone through everything, Lenny. It's very tough to tell from our angle.
Hasn't turned an inch, has it? It's just skidded on and gone straight through and beaten the lot. We just want to get a quick look at this Nepal team dugout, because one big piece of news overnight, the ICC update their rankings at, sporadic intervals. It depends upon the series. I'm not sure if he's there. Dipender Singh Airi, can we look at him on the right there? There he is. Massive piece of news, this. Dipender Singh Airi, now ranked as the second highest T20 all-rounder in the world. As this is edged away, going to be 4, going to go down to Dipender Singh Airi. He might even do the fielding himself. One of the Omani players helps him out. Bit of fortune for Dev Canal. That's the highest any Nepal player has ever been ranked in any format, in any way, and it shows his value. He's only behind Liam Livingstone of England, and look at the company he's keeping. Marcus Stoinis, Sikander Raza, Winindo, Hasaranga De Silva, Mohamed Nabi, all beneath him. Dipender Singh Airi, what a player.
He's an exceptional player and a very important player for Nepal. And the one thing I'll say, Lenny, it's the impact that he makes in just such short bursts. 22 for 1 now after 2.
Seva is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's a no-frills thing to do.
Yeah, so that was breaking news this morning, and it's lit up the news agencies across Nepal. The highest any Nepalese player has ever been ranked in any of the ICC rankings, and you think traditionally, as this one just goes above the outside edge, a little bit of extra bounce from Kalimullah, how difficult it has been for some of the associate sides players to get up in those rankings. But that's quite remarkable. Dipender Singh Airi, second best player in the world according to the official ICC methodology.
Well, I think it's even more impressive when you see the run the squad's been on. They haven't won for a while before they won. They beat Oman the other day. So they hadn't won for a while. And just his performance is a testament to the mental fortitude of somebody like a Dipender Singh Airi as well, to remain consistent even when the team's not doing well and try and rise above the performances of the team and try and bring the team alongside with you. And we could just tell the other day, unfortunate yesterday, but that game against Oman, just the 5 balls that he faced really helped them get into that bowling lineup and made it an increasingly impact.
3 in a row, Asif Sheikh missing out upon. It's probably going to be a bit tricky, isn't it? Will the bounce be a tiny bit inconsistent?
Yeah, it looks so early on in this game, doesn't it? Especially from Kalimullah, who's a tall man, so you expect him to get bounce. But we saw in the last over to Anil Shah, the loud LBW appeal, just keeping a little bit low. It wasn't full of length. So again, it is tricky, and it looks like Asif Sheikh there, just struggling a little bit here in the first 3 balls of this Kalimullah over.
This time he catches in. He's finally judged the bounce nicely. It's got it all the way for 6. Again, remember, that's the shorter side of the ground today. Probably not in full control, but gets enough of it to get the maximum.
Asif Sheikh says, forget the offside, I'm going to go towards the leg side. It's probably around a similar line to the first 3 deliveries. So not much wrong from the delivery, but just different approach from Asif Sheikh there, and it goes all the way for 6.
I think you can definitely see there's been a conversation at Nepal's end about going at it in the power play. They've actually probably, in this T20 series, they've probably managed the power plays the best of all the opening batters. The problem for them is actually being outside of that, playing the spinners from kind of 6 to 14. It's been an issue, isn't it? And you look at yesterday, from the 9th over to the 14th over, you might look at the end and say, oh, well, they've lost the game in the last 3 with their death bowling. But actually, if you go back to the root cause of that defeat, 70 for none after 9, 5 overs later, they're 84 for 4. Okay, it was slightly turning conditions. But Nepal, who face so much spin, they have to be better than that in those middle overs.
I think the important part there is they've got a couple of left-handers as well, so they can leverage both sides of the wicket when you think about it. Left-hander hitting to the short side from the other end, and the right-hander hitting the short side. That's something they did well against Oman the other day and just weren't able to capitalize against Canada yesterday.
It is bizarre, though, isn't it, to think of Nepal struggling against spin, how much they face back home. 3 have been bowled now. It's 29 for 1.
Seva is giving back to the community and making sure that the community is taken care of. We do a lot of that at our temples and in the Punjabi community, and that's how I see the store. So it's a no-frills thing to do.
So halfway through the power play, Shakil Ahmed is going to continue. He's done a really good job, hasn't he, throughout this series? Real competitor too. Arslan, back in your playing days, you were someone who definitely got a bit exuberant on the field. I think I've got that on very good repute. Do you empathise and then love the way in which Shakil Ahmed and Kalimullah show such passion?
I think it's important. You've got to have passion. You're playing for your country at the end of the day, Lenny. I don't know who you've been speaking to, but I'll have a word with them later.
Multiple reports, just for the record. Multiple. Now, they might think of a second here. Reminder, it's 68 metres out to that boundary. Now, that's not a particularly wise piece of cricket. Khalid Kale, he's almost on the rope. And that's a long way out square, the wicket out towards Dufferin Street. And that should have been a single. They've turned it into two. Good thinking from Nepal.
I think also Zishan Maksudi did not react at all there. He turned around, thought it was going to go all the way. But again, so much overnight rain. Long way for Khalid Kale to come in.
Oh, it's another edge. Dev Canal. Oh, he's living very dangerously, and he's living very luckily right now. It's going to be Sandeep Lamachana who does the fielding down there, I think, and almost teases. Who is it there? Excuse me, it's Kashyap Rajapati, who was just teased by the ball. Canal hasn't looked in control, has he? But he gets another boundary.
You got to ride your luck. When it's your day, it's your day. And right now, it's going Dev Canal's way. He got beat by the inside edge, found the outside edge a couple of times, and the two outside edges, they haven't gone to the fielder, they've gone to the boundary.
It's almost goaded in there, wasn't he, Sandeep Lamachani? Come on, you can get it. One thing I've been so struck by, I always am, when I go around the associate-only events, so many of these players off the field, from different backgrounds, different nations, they're incredibly close friends.
It's the modern way, isn't it? Especially with the rise of the T20 and T10 leagues around the world. Just saw the end of the Zim Afro T10, the GT20 here. Rohit Paudel, Sandeep Lamachane, not Dev Canal, Deepinder Sanghari. Yeah. They were up here. So you start to see these players coming together. Jatinder Singh played here last year. We've seen Ayan Khan come up as well. Zishan Maksud plays in minor league cricket at times as well. So you see them traveling around.
Yeah, that's better. I don't mind that from Canal. I know he hasn't got it, but if he did get all of that, that would have been 4. It's going to be a single to round out a 8-run fourth over. Nepal off to a good start despite the loss of Anil Shah. It's 37 for 1.
TD is supporting cricket in more ways than ever. Because we believe Canada needs more cricket. Azad! TD, ready for you.
So the best part of 10 runs per over Nepal have started at, and we're going to see the first change of bowling. Ahmed Fayez Butt will come into the attack. As there's just a little bit of treatment from Vikram Naponi. I think he's just applying some strapping. He's been ever present in every single one of the games that Oman have played thus far. Ahmed Fayez Butt has generally had a good time of things. Really, him and Kalimullah have had to step up, haven't they, because of the absence of Bilal Khan.
As you see, Mehran Khan walking right in front of us. He didn't have the best of time in the ODIs, but we thought we'd see him here. It's really been on the shoulders of Ahmed Fayez Butt and Kalimullah. He said he's had a good time of it. He hasn't looked too happy in any of the games, has he? He's looked like he's been struggling, but he's bowled well.
Yeah, it's a funny one for Mehran Khan because he's almost played his way out of the T20 team through his ODI form, which doesn't make much sense. Could maybe say the same about Aaron Johnson. A couple of strange selections, I've got to say, from Oman and Canada. Just get a very quick look here at the points table. Just want to explain exactly the permutations as to what's going on. For Nepal to still win the series, they have to win today. But were Oman to win today, it basically sets up a winner-takes-all grand final tomorrow.
Yeah, it's all to play for still for all three of these sides. Nepal, they're going to need some help tomorrow in the game. And if they beat Oman here today, it's really going to come down to net run rate. They've put themselves in a decent position. But for Oman...
The funny thing is as well, Arslan, sorry to cut you off, is that if Nepal beat Oman today and Oman beat Canada tomorrow, that would be the replication of the results from the first set of the round robin. And it would also mean, I think Nepal would then be heavy favourites. Because from a net run rate perspective, we'll get just one more look at it here. You would think, unless there's some extraordinary results, like let's say you'd have to have a really close game today, and then you'd have to see Oman win quite well tomorrow against Canada. But you think if Nepal could win today, Oman could win tomorrow, it could well end up with Nepal being champions.
Yeah, I think the important part from an Oman standpoint is it's in their hands. They don't have to rely on any results tomorrow. They just got to win. It's pretty simple for them. For Nepal, they're in a strong position if they win here today, but Oman's going to know what they're going to need tomorrow. That's the other part. You need to get them in 10 overs. You go get them in 10 overs.
I think we'll probably see the entire nation of Nepal becoming Omani fans for the day tomorrow if they can win today.
After this game today, you got to finish this game today.
Not today, but tomorrow. All of a sudden, they'll be changing those blue shirts into red ones.
You reckon the Nepal squad will be here tomorrow with their Omani shirts on? You said they're friends. They're all friends.
Yeah. One of the interesting things as well, I only found this out a couple of days ago. Nepal are actually going to stay on. So they're going to stay on, and God, it's going to be chilly, but they're going to play 3 50-over games against, you'll probably know better.
Against Canada A, the A squad.
But it's going to be kind of a select 11, isn't it? They're going to bring a few people in.
Yeah, so they've been playing a couple of games over this week. They played a game yesterday, the HP Jaguars versus, I believe, the HP Tigers or Wolves. It's a lot of cats and dogs up here in Canada for some odd reason. But they played a game yesterday. It's a little bit of a selection game, and they're going to play again, I believe, tomorrow. And then the series starts on Friday, Lenny. It's a 3-game series, Friday, Sunday, Tuesday. A day off in between all 3 games.
Oh, this has gone miles up. Not sure whether deep mid-wicket is going to be able to get there. He's not, and it plugs in the outfield. It's only going to be a couple, but the aggression continues. It's very clearly a ploy from Nepal in the power play. A little bit too full from Ahmed Fayez, but gets away with it. Only 2 runs to the total.
Just to finish the point there, Lenny, I think it's smart from Nepal as well. They're heading straight down to the States after this, aren't they? They've got a big series coming up there, World Cricket League 2 games. The T20s before the World Cricket League 2 this time around.
Yeah, 17th, 19th, 20th of October. That'll be at the Grand Prairie Stadium, that remarkable facility that Major League have... I only visited it for the first time this year, and I'd heard good reports from last year, but I hadn't managed to get there yet myself. As this is edged away for 4. There's a man out at deep third, but he's incredibly square, so this goes fine. Fayez Butt will feel as though he's unlucky, but it's 4 more to the total.
Yeah, Dev Canal, he's been riding his luck, but Asif Sheikh on this occasion, top edge, back of a length, and just looking to heave this over the leg side. Luckily for him, top edge over the keeper, in between keeper and gully, you'd say, for 4.
Yeah, I think they're clearly targeting that shorter boundary, aren't they? Even though that's not where the ball is ending up sometimes. But yeah, that Major League facility is quite something. Just to look at the dimensions, 60 metres out to that leg side. That's why they're targeting it. It's because we've come all the way to the left as you look now on the square, and much bigger out on the offside. Yeah, this has gone miles up. Asif Sheikh could pay the price for playing across the line, and he does at the Vele. Does the business with the gloves. It was a simple catch in the end, and Fayez Butt might have conceded 1 boundary in unfortunate fashion. And Sheikh just didn't learn his lesson, did he? And he is going to fall. Another batter getting in and getting out for Nepal.
Yeah, Asif Sheikh, he wanted to keep targeting that leg side, didn't he, Lenny? And on this occasion, just a better line on this occasion. The length is very similar to the ball before, but into the body. And Asif Sheikh can only manage to get that straight up in the air, and Atavale doesn't make a mistake.
Actually, just the tiniest bit of shape from Ahmed Fayez Butt that's had an impact on that dismissal. Asif Sheikh falls for 16 off 14 deliveries, and with 5 overs bowled now, the score, it moves to 44 for 2.
kicks. Ready for whatever you're into. Get your kicks.
Welcome back to all of the action. Nepal losing their second wicket just before the end of that over. 44 for 2 after 5. Currently going on that 8 over mark, or 8 runs and over mark, I should say. Matt, good morning. How are you? Or good afternoon. We had a delayed start today.
We did. It's sweater weather here on the cricket pitch. I see you got your parka on. Lenny has his toque on. He said he doesn't have any hair to keep his head warm, so he needs a toque.
I've seen him moisturize his head, actually.
With that dry fall air, I can imagine.
Well, Shakil Ahmed coming in for his third over. Kushal Malla walking out. That's going to be 5 wides. Poor delivery first stop from Shakil Ahmed. Well down leg. And they'll take these extra runs, Nepal. What do you think of the start so far?
Pretty good. You're trying to take advantage of these first 6 overs, the power play. Getting 4 freebies right there will help that cause. 5 freebies, excuse me. Still learning the rules, folks.
Yeah, so because that was a wide, it went behind the batter. It's a wide that's gone for 4 runs, so it's 5 runs off that delivery, and he's got to re-bowl it.
This is like a double whammy, triple whammy.
Triple whammy. You don't want to be bowling those.
They have Press Your Luck in Canada, the game show that the double whammy phrase originates from. For everybody listening, everybody's heard the phrase double whammy. It's from a game show called Press Your Luck that was popular, I think, in the 80s. I'm showing my age here with this.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm born in the 80s, so I didn't realize that was from a game show.
It is. It's an awesome game show, too. Definitely recommend it. They got those internet stations that show all the old shows from the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
Look it up. Press Your Luck.
Okay, I will look it up. I'm going to add it to to the list that I've got going on from everything I need to check out. That Lenny's asked me to check out.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, big toss to win here for Oman. They won. They said they're going to have a bowl first. We did start an hour later, which means the conditions have had a little bit of time to settle down.
Yeah, especially with the sun out, drying things out.
But those of you watching, do not be deceived by the sun. It is nowhere as warm as it looks on your screen. It's actually sitting about 16 degrees at the moment with a cool breeze.
Especially in the shade, where we are.
Exactly. Typical fall weather now.
My favorite kind of weather.
Is that your favorite season, the fall?
Without a doubt. I love the foliage. I love the cool, crisp air. I run hot.
Well, there you have a shot of how beautiful it looks here. The sun's shining, light blue skies with a few white clouds.
3 swings in a row with no contact.
Excellent over this. After the 5 wides, he pulls it back. Shakil Ahmed. It's going to be the end of the 6th over and the end of the power play. Nepal 50 for 2.
The new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger.
Let's go.
Juicy grass-fed beef topped with Ruffles cheddar and sour cream chips.
Let's go!
Try the new A&W Ruffles Crunch Teen Burger. Let's go.
Second last game of this No-Frills T20 Cup. It's an important one. Nepal have to win today to stay in the contest and then wait to see for the outcome from tomorrow's game. Oman, got to win today, got to win tomorrow to claim this No-Frills T20 Cup.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a more exciting finish to the series. This is what you want. Everybody's still in it going into the last 2 matches.
They had a bit of a shocker, didn't they, Nepal, yesterday? They really had the game in their hands and then Saad Zafar came in towards the end and just completely snatched that win away from them. Some incredible batting from him. The rain as well coming in about 3 o'clock. It was an interesting period. Yeah,
I mean, the one thing I've learned watching and broadcasting my first cricket series ever is how unpredictable it is, how fast momentum changes. You think it's going to be a certain result, and then at the snap of the fingers, everything shifts.
Faya's butt to continue. We've seen a few decent looking shots from Nepal. Unfortunate to have lost that early wicket today. Losing an opener early can always happen. They've had a good stand between their two openers in mostly every game that they've played in this T20 series.
Yeah, they really have. They've come out sharp. It's a matter of maintaining that throughout the match. It takes a tremendous amount of focus. I was talked earlier in basketball, we say it's a 48-minute game. I mean, you go 2-3 minutes and you have a mental lapse. That's the difference between winning and losing. It's no different with this cricket series. Only 20 overs. You cannot afford any mental lapses.
Oh, using his feet down the track.
Woo, felt the breeze on that one. He went for it.
He got all of the breeze and none of the ball on that one.
Might have to borrow Lenny's toque with the wind chill factor.
As he gives it to you.
He knows what a toque is, at least.
Yeah, I did teach him that, yes. It was 2 years ago that lesson came out.
The first time you said toque, what did he think you were referring to?
I'm actually sure. I think he was pretty confused. Lenny says he thought I meant bum. Well, it might run away to the boundary, and it does. Nice. Not where he intended that to go, but he'll pick up the boundary here.
I was going to say a lot of unintentional success by this Nepal batting team so far, and they'll take it. Every run counts.
Yeah, dealing with thick edges here, Nepal today. This one going just in front of the fielder. A third man.
It's amazing to me just the physics of that shot, because it's almost like they make contact and it goes backwards, but it goes backwards faster than the pitch was coming in somehow.
Pick up a single here. Yeah, actually, it makes it quite tricky when you're fielding at the point position as well, because the ball's always going to turn away from you after it pitches. You have to be careful of that spin.
Yep.
And judge your approach to fielding the ball accordingly.
You got to pick the right angle. It almost reminds me of American football, where you take a line when you're trying to tackle someone in the open field based on their speed and angle, but instead of tackling a person, you're tracking the ball down. Team Nepal really coming out aggressive in those first 6 overs, swinging for the fences and being rewarded.
That's a good bouncer, that, from Faya's butt. Yep. Hitting the deck hard. Kushamala ducks out of the way.
Yeah, would have been in concussion protocol with that.
The end of the 7th over, Nepal 55 for 2.
Team Nepal really showing that shift in their mentality, coming out extra aggressive. In the past, known to play a little more conservative, especially in those first 6 overs in the power play, but really trying to coach these guys up mentally to come out and take advantage of that, be more aggressive, look for more boundaries, and definitely be rewarded for taking those risks today.
Well, it's a low full toss, and this might be a wicket. He's gotten a wicket.
And of course, as soon as I say that happens. That's how we call that the broadcast jinx, Manali.
We call the commentator's curse in
That's
cricket.
Right.
And that's going to be third wicket for Nepal. Unfortunate way to have gotten out on that delivery. And so often we do see low full tosses result in wickets. You're not expecting it. This one not timed well.
Definitely not. Good positioning by the Oman fielder. I mean, that was hit with pace, but just right where the fielder was.
Well, you're talking about all of the tactical changes for Nepal. They've worked well for them in the T20 series, actually. It's been quite a change from the 50-over approach. And sometimes when it's not working, you do need to look at changing the batting lineup, just changing which batter is going to come in at what point. It's paying off for Nepal. It has in the first 2 games.
Yeah, you see solid contact. I mean, if you hit it anywhere else in the field, that's a boundary, but
Shoaib Khan taking a good catch in the boundary.
Manali, you played a lot of cricket at national team level. Does it hurt your hands more when it's chilly like this?
Oh.
It seems like it would.
The worst to field in cold weather. Literally the worst. It's the skipper Akibilias who comes in with the ball and picks up a wicket off his first delivery. Not the best of deliveries.
What's the coldest? What's the coldest they play cricket in? At what point are they like, nope, too cold?
I don't think we've really had a set temperature as
Below
to when
zero?
it's too cold. You know what? I have seen some games being played in, well, I've heard of some games being played out in Alberta where the weather is like 2 or 3 degrees and the sun's shining. They're like, hey, there's no snow on the ground, let's go and play. But from a fielding perspective, that ball stings horribly on your fingers. Horribly. That's when you got to keep those warm, hot hand.
Those packets?
Those packets in your pockets.
Is it an advantage for a team who's used to the cold weather?
I don't think your fingers are meant to function.
But I mean, like for example, swing and a miss. For an example, we were at Raptors Media Day 2 days ago, interviewing Jacoby Walter, the Raptors first-round draft pick rookie, and I was like, are you ready for the Canadian winter? And he's like, I've only seen snow 3 times in my life. So that would be a no. So I wonder, like, you know, you got a team from
Oman's
the Caribbean,
a pretty good example.
Oman, yeah, and they're playing in Northern Ireland or Canada in the fall. Are they just like freezing their